Hi, Sippers. Welcome back to SNT Chronicles. I'm your host, CaseyJuneJuly. Make sure you subscribe and follow me on Instagram and TikTok and also Facebook. Yeah, make sure you follow me. So, also, don't forget your drink of the night because it's at night. We do this at night, like Midnight Chronicles. So, this is my choice of drink. Let's sip together. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. So, in today's episode, we are calling this episode. There are gonna be a few episodes. I'm gonna be calling them Confession Collection. Yeah, Confession Collection. So it's about stories. I get the stories from Reddit, or you guys send me the stories or confessions you want to talk about, or you want to confess something, and then I come here and feature them. Also, I leave my Gmail on my description. So if you have a confession or a story to tell, drop it there. Go and email me that. So in today's story, it's gonna be a long one, but we have the whole night, right? So let's start. So this story or the confession is from Reddit. I'm going to give the credits at the description box below. So make sure you go there. And trigger warnings, it's long. Yeah, it's gonna be so long. So take your popcorns and your drinks. It doesn't matter what kind of drink. So let's get into it. I don't know why I'm so nervous today for some reason, but okay. So as I've said, these are not my stories. They're stories from other people. And this specific story, it's from Reddit. Yeah. So the original post was posted in April 25, 2024. Yeah, 2024. Sorry in advance for the long post. I, 26 female, have been with my husband, 29 male. Let's call him Kyle. For 7 years, married for 4. Our relationship began as something too good to be true. Wow. Don't they all? He was amazing and made my life so much brighter. Okay. And we were truly best friends from the start. Okay. We moved in together after only 3 weeks of knowing each other, and we were inseparable. 3 weeks? Before I even continue, 3 weeks is too early. Like, it's too early. 3 weeks. You've met somebody for 3 weeks and then you move in. Apana. That's the honeymoon stage. Anyway, let me not judge. Let's continue. We were the couple people would say, I just want something like you and Kyle. You two are so perfect for each other. And I agreed. We weren't each other's typical type, and it felt like the universe brought us together. Why? A year and a half later, he planned an elaborate proposal and we got engaged. Okay, at least you dated for like a while and you got engaged. It was magical. I couldn't have planned anything more special and romantic. Okay. We planned to get married a year and a half later. After a year, we went on our bachelorette trips, and we had our first fight after being together for 2.5 years. Like, can you date somebody for 2.5 years and not have fights? Now, this is interesting. Since my bachelorette party was a month before his, he set some ground rules. Call every night when you get back to the house and no hanging out at houses with men for me and women for him. Okay, ground rules. My bachelorette party went perfectly without even a temptation of breaking the rules. Just a weekend hanging out on the beach with my girls. Sawa. Skip to his bachelor party. He disappears for 6 hours. Wow. No calls, no texts. And then I see on one of his friends' social media posts that they are hanging out with a group of girls. And in the video, Kylie is standing really close to a girl in a red bikini. They are talking, sorry, and she is holding his phone in her hand. I tried calling and texting him and his friends for hours without a response. Was he projecting? Was he projecting? That's why he came up with those rules. When I finally got in contact with him, he said his phone was inside charging and he was drunk and didn't think them hanging out with the girls would be an issue. But in the first place, he said no girls and no boys. I'm not stupid. I know he most likely cheated on me, but I chose to go forward with the wedding, which was only 3 months away. Partly because I loved him and I knew I'd forgive him eventually, and my parents had already spent a lot of money on our wedding. Your parents, girl. Our wedding was beautiful and it was a perfect day. Shortly after COVID hit and we were stuck not being able to live our normal life of going out and traveling often. Okay. 9 months into marriage, I found out that he had created a fake social media account. For what? I say fake because it was not his main profile, but he used his real name, stupid. Yeah. And was following several women. One was his ex. I made him pack his things and move out of our house. Typical men. After being separated for 3 weeks, I found no evidence that he was actually contacting any of these women. He promised he'd never do something like that again. Girl, he will. I forgave him and he moved back in. My family was also encouraging me to get back together with him. Of course, typical family. Our relationship was never better. It felt stronger and we were more connected. Okay, sorry for laughing. We bought our first house a year and a half years later and found out I was pregnant 4 months after we moved in. Okay. Then this is where everything begins to crumble. We did talk about me getting off my birth control and decided it was the right time for us to start trying for a baby. But when I told him I was pregnant, he did not have the reaction I thought he would. Kwani, what's wrong with marriages? But when I told him I was pregnant, he did not have the reaction I thought he would have. A big reason why I fell in love with this man is because I knew he'd be a great father. He's amazing with other kids and always talked about wanting a family of his own. He's a big kid at heart. So you talk about you removing your birth control. So what did he think was going to happen? Like when you remove that birth control, chances of getting pregnant are high if everything is okay with you. I'm already getting mad. I'm already getting heated. When it came to my pregnancy, he didn't want to talk about anything baby related and seemed to pretend the baby didn't exist. Guy, he started going out more without me and planned more guys trip. I didn't mind. I'm more of a homebody and loved being at home nesting and preparing for the baby to come. I thought he was feeling overwhelmed with the life change that would be here soon and just needed some time to let his hair down. in quotes. You're also living life the first time. So why are you giving him so much grace? But let's continue. I'm not a jealous person. I was very confident that he wouldn't cheat on me because he was my best friend. I did everything for him in capital letters, everything. So it means everything. For him, and his friends would often talk about how lucky he was to have me as his partner. I also think I'm quite beautiful. Okay, all women are beautiful. Never let anyone tell you otherwise. He also began to treat me as more of a roommate during this crisis. Because of you getting pregnant and you talked about removing the birth control. Okay, we have had a few small arguments in the past of him taking advantage of me cooking and cleaning for him without him showing appreciation. He stopped taking me on dates or even asking me if I would want to go with him and his friends when they'd hang out. Like he was disconnecting from you. Like, yeah, this is what was going on. This was shocking to me because we had been inseparable for the last 5 years. I found out 3 weeks ago that he cheated on me while on one of his boys' trip last summer. He met a girl at a bar, bought her drinks, danced and made out, even took a picture together. They exchanged numbers, and the next day she found out he was married and he blocked her on all of his social media and phone number. This is how I found her. 2 weeks prior to me finding out about this girl, I found his anonymous online profile, the one that he removed, the one that he deleted, or this is another one he created. And so that he had been sending explicit photos. I confronted him and he apologized. Oh, God. Oh my God. You know that meme. I confronted him and he apologized, saying he was depressed. I had already planned to leave and move in with my mom for a while. I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something else that I was missing. Yes, girl, you're right. Always trust your intuition. So I checked his blocked accounts on social media and thought it was strange that there was a girl I didn't know on their list. I messaged her and she split the tea, even telling me that his friends were lying with him, telling her he was single. Yeah, your men's friends are not your friends. Your boyfriend's friend are not your friends. I confronted him and he said she was lying, of course. I left and moved in with my mom. Good for you. Since then, I have found out other information, not as damning, but activity that I wouldn't want my husband doing behind my back. I feel sick and devastated that he could do something like this to not only me, but our child. Did I mention I was at home alone for 8 days with our 5 months old baby while he was on his trip where he made out with another girl? Like, I don't know what happens or why most men cheat when their wives get pregnant. Is it because of the dynamic of the family or what goes on with their mind, like mentally? Like, what goes on? Ebu comment, I'd like to know. Like, what do you think happens? Because I've heard and I've seen most men cheat a lot when their wives are pregnant or they have small babies. Is it because they are not getting intimate or what happens? I really want to know. But a man who would cheat on you when you're pregnant and that is the time that you are more vulnerable and you need help for you emotionally, because your first baby, even not even your first baby, like if you're pregnant, it doesn't matter if it's your first or fifth child, like you need your partner to be there. I'm mad already. I feel like I sacrificed so much of my happiness for this man, trying to make his life as happy as possible, and he gave it all up. For what? Like I said, I'm not stupid. So I know there are probably more instances of him cheating, but I don't want to know. I'm already done. Yes, girl, you don't need to know. You don't need more evidence. I will let me sip my drink because of this. You don't need any more evidence. Trust your intuition. If you feel something is not right, 100%, and most of the time, something is not right. And this is not the first time that he has done this to you. So probably, even if you go back together, he's gonna do it again. And then you guys moving in 3 weeks after meeting, that was too fast. Personally, for me, I feel like it was too fast, and you need to give somebody like a period of time to get to know them, like date them before you even move in. Like you dated them for 1.5 years before before he, what was his name? Kyle, before he proposed. Like date him for that 1.5 years, like, but don't move in. Like you need to know this person, how he acts, like when he's stressed, what he does. You need to learn this person. And I'm not the one to judge. I know there is an update on the story, and I'm gonna do that as a part 2. I know, yeah, there's an update, but I don't want to do that right now because I don't want the video to be too long. So I'm going to be reading some of the comments. I'm just gonna read like 3, yeah, or two comments, and then you comment down below what you think about the situation that is going on here. He thinks, okay, who commented and said that the fact that your friends say, oh, you're my dream couple, I so wish I could have what you have, is not that big of a flex. Okay. Especially when they moved in after 3 weeks. I do not miss being that young and dumb. Lol. When people who are young, this is another comment from Jiltro. When people who are that young make posts like, but no one has ever treated me this well. I've never felt this was about someone. Like you barely know anyone and have experienced so little. Yeah. I remember being that age and nobody could tell me anything. And I'm so glad I didn't get married. I know when you're at that age, you feel like you know everything and you don't want to know to anyone's else opinion. Like you're just like, no, you're getting on my way, you're getting in my way, I know what I'm doing. He's a great man, Savannah, he's a great man. Yeah, ha ha ha. Seriously, I was thinking like these are just other teenagers with zero life experience. I don't think it means your relationship is the epitome of true love. When there is no true love nowadays. I'm not stupid. I know he most likely cheated on me, but I chose to go forward with the wedding. Yeah, also that was a red flag. Like, always follow your heart. Like, if you feel like something is not right, just like even push the wedding because the wedding was 3 months away. You could just have pushed it. I'm sorry, but girl, this sentence is internally contradictory. I honestly don't understand how she was surprised that he cheated again when she already thought he had cheated on her before she had created a Finsta, the pseudo account, to follow other women. She was deep in denial. You know, sometimes we fall in love with the potential of people. You're like, he's gonna change. You're not looking like this is how they are, this is who he is, he's just a cheater, and he was always a cheater, he just changed or tried to hide how he used to cheat, but he's always been a cheater. So for me, I just say, like, before we get into like serious relationships, like relationships that are leading to marriage, we should sit back and ask ourselves, am I ready to just go in blindly, like just move in? The mistake I'd say is, first of all, moving in 3 weeks prior to dating, to meeting. Secondly, the fact that you felt something was wrong before you had your wedding, 3 months to the wedding, and you still continued to go ahead with the wedding. Yeah, that was also another red flag. But I hope you enjoyed today's story, and watch out for part 2 because there's an update on that, and I can't wait to update you guys. Bye bye. Let's sip our drink before we call it a night and wait for next episode, which will drop on Sunday next week. Too good. Too good. Comment down below and tell me what you think.